What if everything you've been taught about manifestation is upside down? What if the very act of chasing your dreams is the reason they keep slipping away? We live in a world obsessed with doing, with forcing, with hustling to make things happen. But in the quantum realm, that approach doesn't just fail. It pushes what you want further from you. Think about it. Every time you run after something, you send a signal, I don't have it. And that's the signal the field responds to. Not your words, not your vision board, your energy. You say you want abundance, but inside, you feel lack. You dream of love, but you radiate loneliness. You speak affirmations of freedom, while your body trembles with fear. That inner contradiction is what shapes your outer world. Manifestation isn't about asking. It's about becoming. The quantum field doesn't care how badly you want something. It mirrors what you are being. It doesn't respond to urgency or desperation. It responds to coherence, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are aligned as one clear frequency. Imagine tuning a radio. You want to hear 98.7 FM, but your dial is stuck on 88.1. No matter how much you scream for the right station, you'll never hear it until you tune yourself first. That's what manifestation really is. Not chasing, not begging, attuning. The paradox is simple yet profound. The state of allowing is what attracts. The state of chasing is what repels. Most people hear advice like act as if or feel as if it's already done. But when they try, it feels fake, forced, out of reach. Why? Because deep down, they're still vibrating with the old identity. They're still carrying the frequency of lack. The universe is a perfect mirror. It doesn't listen to the mask you wear on the surface. It listens to the vibration beneath the words. You can't fake coherence. You can't trick the field. This is why so many practices fail. People visualize, journal, repeat affirmations 10 times a day. But these are surface-level actions, like trying to change a mirror without changing the face it reflects. Nothing truly shifts until the inner world shifts. Quantum manifestation is about collapsing into the version of reality where your desire already exists. And here's the wild part. That version of you is already real right now. Every possible timeline exists simultaneously. You don't create it through effort. You access it through alignment. The key is to stop pushing and start remembering. To stop demanding and start embodying. To become so deeply aligned with the reality you desire that the field has no choice but to reflect it back to you. Right now, take a breath. Feel into this truth. The life you dream of isn't far away. It's vibrating right next to this one, waiting for you to tune in. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to prove yourself worthy. You don't need to beg the universe to deliver. You simply need to become the version of you who already has it. Not tomorrow. Not when the money comes. Not when the partner shows up. Right now. Because the moment you stop chasing, the shift begins. The moment you allow yourself to embody what you desire, the field moves in your favor. And that's when manifestation stops feeling like magic and starts feeling like the most natural thing in the world. The universe doesn't speak in words. It speaks in energy. And your energy has a signature, a silent broadcast you send out every second of your life. This is the language of the quantum field. Your thoughts are electric. Your emotions are magnetic. Together, they create an electromagnetic signal that tells the field who you are and what you believe is true. This signal is constant. It never stops transmitting, even when you're not paying attention. Here's the problem most people face. Their thoughts say one thing, but their emotions say another. They think about wealth, but feel constant fear about bills. They visualize love, but feel deep loneliness in their chest. They speak about freedom while their body trembles with anxiety. The field doesn't respond to your words or your dreams. It responds to your signal. And if that signal is mixed, the reality you attract will also be mixed. Chaotic, unstable, full of starts and stops, hopes and disappointments. Imagine you're trying to pick up a radio station again. If the signal is fuzzy and full of static, you'll hear fragments of the song, but never the full melody. That's how most people live, sending out a scrambled broadcast, then wondering why life feels so unclear. So how do you fix it? Through coherence. Coherence happens when your mind and heart are in harmony, when your thoughts and emotions match, when your whole being sends one unified message to the quantum field. Science has a name for this. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls it brain-heart coherence. When you feel gratitude, love, or trust while holding a clear thought about your desire, your brain and heart synchronize. This creates a powerful electromagnetic signature, a clean, strong signal the field can easily respond to. Neville Goddard spoke of this decades ago. He called it living from the end. It means embodying the emotional state of your desired reality before it appears. Not pretending, not forcing, but genuinely feeling as though it's already true. This is not imagination for the sake of fantasy. It's science. Neuroplasticity shows that when you vividly imagine a future event while feeling the emotion of it, your brain begins to wire itself as if it's happening right now. Your body starts to believe it's already real. Think about that for a moment. You can literally train your nervous system to live in your desired future before it arrives. And when your body believes, the field responds. Let's take an example. Someone wants financial freedom, but every day they obsessively check their bank account, worrying about debt and bills. Even if they say affirmations like, "I am abundant," their dominant emotion is fear. Their signal screams scarcity, and scarcity only attracts more scarcity. Now imagine instead they close their eyes and breathe deeply. They feel gratitude for even a small amount of money they have now. They imagine what financial freedom would feel like, the peace, the security, the relief. For a few minutes, they allow that feeling to completely fill their body. Over time, their nervous system begins to memorize this state. The signal shifts, and when the signal shifts, the field mirrors it back. This is why chasing doesn't work. When you chase, you confirm the absence. When you embody, you confirm the presence. The outer world is just a mirror. If you want the reflection to change, you must first change the face you're showing it. Your only job is not to fight the reflection, but to become the version of yourself who already lives the reality you desire. Feel it until it becomes natural, familiar, inevitable. Not a dream you're reaching for, but a memory you're returning to. Because somewhere in the infinite universe, that version of you already exists. And the moment you align with its frequency, you begin to collapse that possibility into form. Not by effort, not by force, but by resonance. Most people approach manifestation like a to-do list. Visualize every morning. Repeat affirmations 10 times. Write it down in a journal. Meditate for exactly 20 minutes. And while these practices aren't bad, they often miss the core truth. They become rituals without depth. Mechanical actions, like trying to change the reflection in a mirror without touching the face that's creating it. This is why so many feel stuck. They do everything right, yet nothing shifts. Their vision board is full. Their affirmations are perfect. But deep down, they're still carrying the same frequency of lack, fear, and doubt. Here's what no one wants to admit. The quantum field doesn't care about what you say. It cares about what you are. And what you are is not what you pretend to feel during a 5-minute meditation. It's the emotion you consistently return to, moment after moment. Imagine a seed planted in the soil. If you dig it up every day to check if it's growing, you'll never let it take root. That's what most people do with their desires. They meditate and feel good for a moment, then spend the rest of the day worrying, doubting, and looking for proof. The signal gets disrupted. The seed never grows. Manifestation requires energetic consistency, not perfection, but stability. Returning again and again to the feeling of your desired reality, no matter what your senses currently show you. This is where coherence becomes powerful. When your brain and heart are in sync, your electromagnetic signal becomes clear, strong, undeniable. The field has no choice but to mirror it back. But most people live in chaos. Their thoughts are scattered. Their emotions are conflicted. Their actions are reactive. One part of them is saying, "I want this new life," while another part is screaming, "I don't believe it's possible." The quantum field receives this as static. Confused signals create confused realities. Nothing seems to work, so they push harder, creating even more resistance. Here's the paradox. The more you try to force change, the more you affirm that change hasn't happened. The more you chase, the more you confirm you don't have it. The field simply reflects that truth. So what's the solution? Stop chasing. Stop trying to convince the universe. Start stabilizing your vibration. That means embodying small shifts throughout your day. Not grand performances, subtle acts of alignment. Walk as if you are already free. Breathe as if you are already loved. Make decisions as if abundance is your natural state. These micro-choices build momentum. Every time you choose presence over panic, gratitude over lack, trust over doubt, you strengthen the signal. The seed begins to grow. At first, the changes are subtle. A calm feeling where there used to be fear. A surprising moment of clarity. An unexpected opportunity that feels too perfect to be coincidence. This isn't magic. It's feedback. The field is showing you that your new frequency is starting to stabilize. Here's the key. Don't go back to digging up the seed. Don't obsess over whether it's working. Stay consistent. Keep broadcasting the vibration of the version of you who already lives that reality. Because the quantum field always responds, not to your timeline, but to your alignment. And when alignment becomes your natural state, what once felt impossible begins to feel inevitable. There comes a moment when everything shifts. It's subtle at first, almost unnoticeable, but if you're paying attention, you'll feel it deep in your bones. The constant urge to check, to push, to hustle, it begins to fade. The desperate need for proof disappears. In its place, a quiet knowing emerges. A calm certainty that says, it's already mine. This is the turning point. The moment when reality stops feeling random and begins to feel responsive. Opportunities appear that seem almost too perfectly timed. You think of someone, and they call you. You need a solution, and the answer shows up out of nowhere. Most people call this luck or coincidence. But it's not luck. It's coherence. The quantum field has started to organize itself around your signal. Here's how it works. When your brain and heart sync, they create a powerful electromagnetic broadcast. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this gamma coherence. In this state, your nervous system becomes highly receptive. Your body stops running old patterns of survival and starts tuning into new possibilities. Think of it like a magnet. When it's weak, it can barely hold a paperclip. When it's fully charged, it can lift objects many times its size. Your field works the same way. The more coherent your energy, the stronger your pull on reality. This is why chasing doesn't work. Chasing is a weak signal, full of static and desperation. But when you become still inside, calm yet certain, your signal sharpens. You stop trying to drag your future toward you, and instead, your future rushes to meet you. It's like standing on the edge of a river. When you thrash and splash, the water resists. But when you float and surrender, the current carries you effortlessly. The current is always there. The only thing that changes is your state. Here's how you'll know you're close to this shift. You stop obsessing over when it will happen. You no longer feel the need to talk about your desires constantly. You feel peace even when nothing has shown up yet. You notice synchronicities, repeating numbers, perfect timing, strange alignments, but you don't cling to them. This is not detachment in a cold, emotionless way. It's trust, a profound knowing that you've already crossed the bridge energetically, and now reality is catching up. In this state, your actions become different too. You don't force decisions out of fear. You move with clarity and precision, one inspired step at a time. And each step feels guided, effortless, natural. This is the moment where manifestation stops being a theory and becomes a lived experience. When you stop waiting for signs and become the sign. When you stop searching for proof and become the proof. People around you might notice the shift before you do. They may say things like, "You've changed," or "Something about you feels different." What they're sensing is your field, your coherence, rippling outward. And here's the most magical part. As you hold this state, you don't just transform your own life. You begin to influence the energy of everyone around you. Your calm presence becomes contagious. Your trust creates safety for others. Your alignment helps others find theirs. The outer world now bends to match your inner stability. Not because you forced it to, but because that's how the quantum field works. At this stage, manifestation no longer feels like effort. It feels inevitable, like gravity pulling everything into place. And when you finally see your desire appear in physical form, you'll realize something profound. The real shift didn't happen when it showed up. The real shift happened the moment you became it inside. Everything you've been seeking already exists. Every dream, every timeline, every version of your life. It's all here, right now, in the infinite field of possibilities. You're not creating it from scratch. You're simply tuning in. This is the ultimate truth of manifestation. You don't need to chase. You don't need to beg the universe to deliver. You only need to align so fully that the field has no choice but to reflect your inner state outward. The problem is, most people wait for external proof before they believe. They want signs, results, confirmation that what they desire is on the way. But here's the paradox. Waiting keeps you waiting. Because when you wait, you're vibrating with lack. And lack only attracts more lack. Neville Goddard said, "Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." That doesn't mean pretend. It means embody. Become so deeply rooted in the state of already having that your body, mind, and soul treat it as reality. When you do this, something incredible happens. Your thoughts begin to shift on their own. You stop obsessing about how things will work out. You stop looking for validation. You begin to act naturally as if it's already done. It's like stepping into a new role, except this isn't acting. It's remembering. Somewhere, in the infinite web of timelines, there's a version of you already living the life you want. Your job is to merge with that version, to bring it into this now moment through your frequency. This is why chasing fails. Chasing says, "I don't have it yet." Alignment says, "I am it now." Consider this. The reality you want isn't far away. It's vibrationally right next to your current one. Like two radio stations playing different songs. You don't leap across space to get there. You simply stop tuning into the old station and lock into the new one. And when you finally do, reality begins to reorganize itself around you. Unexpected opportunities appear. The right people cross your path. Doors you didn't even know existed swing open. This isn't magic, it's physics. The field reflects what you consistently broadcast. But there's one crucial piece most people miss: consistency. It's not enough to feel aligned for 5 minutes during meditation and then spend the rest of the day in fear and doubt. That's like planting a seed and then digging it up to check if it's growing. Instead, you must live the alignment. Speak differently. Walk differently. Make choices as the future version of you would. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Here's a powerful practice. Whenever doubt creeps in, pause. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself, what would the version of me who already has this feel right now? How would they move? How would they think? Then step into that energy, even for a moment. Every time you do this, you strengthen the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Over time, the bridge disappears, and there's only one reality, the one you've chosen. This is the moment when you stop being a seeker and become a creator. When you stop hoping and start knowing. When you stop waiting for signs and become the sign yourself. And here's how you'll know you've arrived. You'll feel at peace, even before anything changes externally. You'll walk with quiet confidence, grounded and certain. And then, almost effortlessly, your outer world will begin to shift to match your inner world. So here's your invitation. Stop chasing. Stop waiting. Type 777 in the comments as a declaration of your alignment. Why 777? Because in many traditions, it represents divine synchronicity, the perfect alignment of inner and outer worlds. When you claim it, you're not just typing a number. You're anchoring a frequency. You're saying to the universe, I am ready. I am already there. Look around at the others doing the same. Feel the collective energy growing. Because the field multiplies what we affirm together. Let this moment be the shift. The moment you stop hoping and start embodying. The moment you stop reaching and start becoming. Everything you've been waiting for has been waiting for you. Right here, right now.